What's good, everybody? I hope you're having a great day so far. Hope your week started off great. If you're into fitness, hope you hit the gym. If not, hope work is doing good and you are just sitting back, relaxing, and watching this recap with me. And hopefully you can go and watch it yourself because this was a great pay-per-view to watch, especially from the TNA banner and that promotion. Talking about that, the TNA Unbreakable pay-per-view is the recap that I'm going to be talking about today. And the reason for that is because it happened right before WrestleMania, and we had the Raw and SmackDown before it. So I was like, hey, you know what? This kind of popped up out of nowhere. And also, they did a back-to-back pay-per-view like week in the sense of they did the Unbreakable pay-per-view and then they did Rebellion 2025, which was this past Sunday. So, we did have a lot of wrestling from last week to this week. And I want to get into this. And also, there was like amazing matches, but one just blew me away. Pause on that. But the first match of this Unbreakable pay per view. Now, this is the first ever pay per view called Unbreakable for TNA, and the reason for that is to support Chris Bay. If you don't know what happened to Chris Bay a couple months ago, he took a bad neck breaker and he kind of broke his neck. He landed awkwardly, and he's been recovering ever since. Got the surgery and everything, but it's a long process. Not everybody can get back into the ring. We've seen big name stars like Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and other wrestlers get that neck injury. Daniel Bryan, look at him. He and some are forced to retire. So this was a pay per view just to help um, get Chris Bay or help him financially more than anything. Now, the first match we did see here was one out of three matches that would have decided, excuse me, who was the TNA International Champion, as they have just introduced this title in TNA Wrestling, and I know AEW has their own International Championship title, but the titles look differently, and they do have the different company logo on it. So, and even the color wave is different as well. So for me, I'm like it's a little bit biting off of AEW, especially with all the different countries on it. But at the end of the day, for me, I don't mind adding a new title, meaning that more talent gets an opportunity to be a champion and something in between as they work themselves up to the heavyweight championship title. So the first match we will, well, you will see, and that we did get in this pay per view was Steve Macklin taking on Eddie Edwards and Ace Austin. It was a triple threat match. Now, this match, I honestly didn't know who to really pick between Steve Macklin and Ace Austin. Eddie Edwards, I really didn't think he was going to win, as the system, as he's part of the system, and they just dropped some titles. Maybe he deserves to be without a title for a little bit. But regardless, the winner of this match was Steve Macklin. Now, they did a great job, especially for a triple threat match. And I felt like Steve Macklin actually earned this W. There really wasn't any, moment that you were thinking, hey, it's kind of like a bad move, or, I don't believe that he kind of, the pinfall victory was earned. That's what I'm trying to get to, meaning that there was nothing negative that I can say about that match. Just saying it was one of the best matches out of the three matches for the new TNA International Championship title. Following that, we did get another match, another triple threat match, which was JDC, which was Fandango, well, formerly known as Fandango, versus the Rascal Zachary Wentz, and he did take on Eric Young. So this triple threat match was another great one. We did see a lot of different move sets, and I felt like Eric Young went hard in this one more than anybody. We did get Zachary Wentz doing his high flying moves as always. And JDC again, he is with the system, and part of that group. But for me, he did the same thing as Eddie Edwards. It wasn't too crazy that like his spots weren't too calculated. Like he was just, I felt like more of a filler than anything. And it was just like Eric Young and Zachary Wentz going hard in this match. And the winner of this match was Eric Young. Now we move on to the I believe the finals of this tournament, and it was AJ Francis, formerly known as Top Dollar in NXT and in WWE, because I know he had a couple matches in SmackDown before being released. And it was Eric Young who won the previous match, and then Steve Macklin who won the first match of the night. Now, for me, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if they were gonna go with Top Dollar because I know Top Dollar had a run, or AJ Francis, he did have a run with the Digital Media Championship title. So I thought, hey, maybe they're gonna go in that direction again and give him another run with a brand new title and have him be the first ever champion for the TNA International Championship. But I gotta say this was a great match, the best out of the three. And the winner of this was Steve Macklin. And he is the first ever TNA international champion. And if you did see the Rebellion pay per view this past Sunday, he did defend it. So that was a plus as well. That there was a brand new title, and a week later they had their scheduled pay per view, Rebellion pay per view, and we got Steve Macklin, honestly, giving us another bang of a match. Excuse me, just a little quick stretch. Following that, we did get the TNA X Division Championship title being defended in an open challenge. So Moose did um, do an open challenge, and Sydney Akeem, out of all the people, answered this open challenge. Now, Sydney Akeem was the wrestler who was with Carmella, who was her. I felt like he was more like a butler type, but he also is very athletic, so he would help around the ring. And then also, I believe he did also have a match with Sasha Banks and was part of a little bit of Sasha Banks' run in WWE before her exit. And they had a great match, but Moose did retain the championship title, the TNA X Division Championship title, and he did defend it again on this previous pay per view for that we did see on Sunday. So I felt like that was a great match, especially as being the fourth match of the night and something, to get things moving for the X Division Championship title. I love open challenges just because you do not know who will show up. It was kind of a mystery. You did not know who was going to show up. And even if it was Sydney Akeem, I was like, okay, you know what? We haven't seen him in a while. Do not mind that. Love wrestlers popping up that we haven't seen in a while, and also that were in a previous promotion that was not TNA. Now, following that, we did get a six-man tag, which was Mike Santana teaming up with the Hardy Boys, and they faced Mustafa Ali, Nick Nemeth, and Ryan Nemeth. Now, this match right here was a match that was preparing them for the Rebellion pay per view, as we did get a singles match with Mike Santana and Mustafa Ali, and then the Hardys defending the titles again against Nick and Ryan Nemeth. Again, this match was a great match, and the winners of this match was Mike Santana and the Hardys. Now, you pair anybody with the Hardys, they're gonna give you a bang of a match. But Mike Santana, since he was formerly in a tag team, um, like mentality for so many years, and now he's going into his singles run. I felt like this was something that he kind of just falls perfectly back into, and teaming with the Hardys just bring the best out of him. And this match again was another banger, and you would not want to miss it. And I feel like you can go back and watch this one specifically just for the nostalgia of having the Hardys team up with a known and a great tag team wrestler in Mike Santana. Following that, we did get Joe Hendry, who is the TNA heavyweight champion, and he did team up with Masha Slamovich, who is the women's knockouts champion. So we had the two top champions for TNA taking on um, Frankie Kazarian and Tessa Blanchard in an intergender match. Now, again, I felt like this was a match that was setting up for the Rebellion pay-per-view because Frankie Kazarian was in that triple threat with Ethan Page and Joe Hendry for the TNA Championship title. And Tessa Blanchard did take on Muscle Stamovich for the TNA Knockouts Championship title. Now, this match right here, I felt like we do not get too many intergender matches, especially um, here in the U.S. when it comes to WWE or AEW. I haven't seen one in a while from AEW, but I know they do that, and TNA always surprises me with that. So I felt like this was a great match. I felt like it wasn't too over the top, but again, we had the champions fight and team up against their opponents for the following pay per view. So I felt like this was a great match to watch. Now, this last match, and it was the main event of this TNA Unbreakable pay per view. This was amazing, and I felt like they went over the top, and I feel like they pushed the envelope as much as they could. And it was because this was a first ever barbed wire massacre match uh, that was main eventing a pay per view for TNA Wrestling, and it was Sami Callihan versus Mance Warner. There was no title on the line. It was just more of I hate you, you hate me, let's go death style rules to the next level kind of thing, and see who comes out of this match the winner. Now for me, excuse me, I felt like they took the word death match and just took it to the next level in the sense of like if 10 was where everybody goes, they went to 11 on the meter. And the reason for that was because around the ring, around the ropes, there was barbed wire being prepared after the match before. So it took about 5 minutes for them to prep the ring for the barbed wire massacre match. So aside from all the ropes being wrapped with barbed wire, we had tables that had barbed wires around it. We have chairs that had barbed wires around it. Bats, everything had barbed wires around it, and around the whole ring, there were weapons. Like it was like weapons galore. So these two wrestlers went as hard as they could, and they didn't hold back at all. And the grueling part of this, and I know the clip is going around like social media for the last 2 weeks, or week and a half, and it was when Sammy Callahan did staple the tongue of Mance Warner onto a wooden door, and Mance Warner had to stand up and actually let it hang and slowly get pulled off. But it didn't happen that way because as soon as he started getting up, Sammy Callahan hit the door with a chair, and it just like it just got out his tongue. He didn't rip the tongue out or anything, but it was just something we weren't expecting. And there was so many other things that they pushed the envelope to that was like, how is this even TNA? Because they're not really known for going that hard. Like the hardest I've seen them go was in a Monsters Ball match or something like that. But this was, I felt like GCW meets TNA. That's what it was when it came to this match. So this is the TNA Unbreakable recap of all the matches. They didn't want to give too much away, as I want you guys to go back and watch it and tell me what you guys think. Come back to the video. Come into the comment sections and say, hey, I love this match more than the other one, because there were 7 matches in total for the pay-per-view. And also tell me something you didn't like, something that kind of was off-putting or whatever you want, you can come back and leave it in the comment section. And like I always would like to do is remind you guys that if you do not want to pay for the TNA Plus app, you can go to the website descriptions down below and watch it for yourself for. And with that, guys, I'll just do one more plug-in, and then I'll end the video. So if you guys are into working out, need some supplements to put you onto the next level, push you, whether you are a AM gym goer, afternoon gym goer, or evening gym goer, you can go to my other channel where I do supplement reviews and tell you what is what and what will be more beneficial for you. And maybe I've reviewed some pre-workout companies that you guys like and have used in the past, and maybe they have released new products that you guys might want to see. So with that, guys, I'll catch you on the next wrestling recap video.